I think it's about growing up and becoming another person in the meeting and in the encounter and in the mirroring yourself into the gaze of the other.
Obviously, at the heart of this story, you have two very important characters and two brilliant talents playing them. Can you talk about, I guess, your first days on set, on location with Army? And
The first day we shot the arrival of Oliver, and it was fast and very seemingly. The first shot we shot, it's on Esther Garrel sitting on the bed. I think we have Esther somewhere. Look at her. She's beautiful.
There's so many beautiful moments in this film. I'm curious, though, were there any that were the most challenging? Because obviously there's a lot of barriers to break down, a lot of intimate moments.
The only real challenge we had, it was a lot of rain all through the shoot. That was the challenge.
So often the case that films that deal with gay subject matter are compartmentalized and seen as genre films. How important is it for you that this film is not reduced to those simplified elements?
I would say that any kind of embrace to the film is great, whether it's someone who sees the movie as a gay movie or not. I'm happy either ways. I met Timmy, I would say 3-4 years before shooting the movie. I was the producer, not the director at the time, and I realized how great the guy was already when he was 17. Vivid, passionate, ambitious. And Army, I'm a big fan since the Social Network. He's one of the greatest. I meet people and I like people. And if I like people, they are with me, if they want to be with me. For me, filmmaking is about being a community that joins one another. It's not about testing people. I don't care about testing people.
A beautiful story of two human beings who make themselves open and available to love. And they fall in love and they experience that first crush and then that first heartbreak and how that goes on to become part of the tapestry of your life.
Perfect. This looks like a film that really has an effect on the people who are in it. It's a beautiful film. Must have been a beautiful shoot. Did it have an effect on you?
Oh, definitely. Every movie does. Every movie sort of pushes you and changes you and challenges you in different ways. And this one was definitely no exception and probably the most extreme example.
And what was it like working with Luca? I know he had you in mind from the start.
It was such a rare treat. He is an amazing, amazing filmmaker and an amazing person. And I will forever be grateful that he asked me to do this.
Can you talk to us a little bit about working with Timothy, and particularly your first day of rehearsals, because I think Luca had a slightly unconventional approach to that experience?
It definitely wasn't a traditional rehearsal. It was our only rehearsal, and Luca said, "Let's go rehearse." And we said, "Okay." Then we go out into the grass, and he goes, "Let's just do, I don't know, scene 72." And he just picked a random number, and then we flipped to it, and all it says is Elio and Oliver kiss in the grass. So this is our first rehearsal. We're like, Timmy and I kind of share a moment. We're like, "All right, are you ready? Okay, let's do this." And then we get on the ground and we start making out. And he goes, "No. You're not feeling it. You need to feel it." And he talked about sensuality and all that stuff. And we're like, okay, for sure, let's go for it. And we did it again. And we start, and we're going. And all of a sudden, it's like, this has been going on for quite a while. And we look up, and Luca is totally gone. He just left us there in the grass. And that was our first and only rehearsal. I love everything about him. I mean, that's, you got to. As an actor, you got to love your character. And I think he's a complicated, beautiful, flawed human being.
I play Elio, and as a 17-year-old on the verge of awakening intellectually and sexually, and as far as the preparation goes, I got out to Crema, which is where we shot the film, about a month and a half in advance, and took piano lessons with an Italian composer named Roberto Solci, and worked with him about an hour and a half a day. Worked with an Italian tutor about an hour and a half a day so I could get my Italian to the level my French is naturally, because my dad's French. And then when you start the film, you let all your preparation go, because if you didn't, you'd be in your head. I know I'm an anxious wreck if I try to remember how I thought scenes would go or certain beats I liked. When you go, you go. And to be working with Luca Guadagnino, to be in front of his lens, I couldn't have felt more comfortable. I really felt like I felt very safe. I felt happy to try things that were terrible and haven't made it into the movie, and because of that license to try those bad moments, hopefully there's some good stuff in there. I didn't get a chance to read the screenplay because there wasn't one yet when I initially read it. It was the book, and I was absolutely floored by it. I read a book called Perks of Being a Wallflower that was, I thought, a really fantastic window into a young person's experience, and this felt like that with a whole sexual edge to it. So the idea of it being made into a film, these complex roles for young people are few and far between. They don't really exist. So I felt like I had to seize on it. What it was like to work with Army, an incredible actor I've already learned so much from, having worked with him, having seen his films prior, and one I'm still learning from, and an incredible man, father, husband that I watch very closely because the roadmap for young male actors in show business isn't the healthiest one. And I look at him and I have a role model now that I actually get to know as a human too. So I couldn't have gotten luckier with Army. And just the shooting process, I mean, who wouldn't want to spend 2.5 months in Italy shooting a film, right? So